1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, "Therefore encourage one another and build up one another, just as you are doing." You know, encouragement's one of the easiest things for us to do, and yet, can I be honest, it's something that often I forget to do. It's easy to not encourage my kids, my spouse, my friends, my church family. It's easy to just overlook that, to get busy and to not do it. And it's ironic because when I think about it, encouragement is something that sticks with you. I know I still have some note cards in my desk from many years ago, notes that people wrote to encourage me. Some of them when I was doing youth ministry over 10 years ago, others from the years since then, but those things just stuck with me and have this lasting power to really just propel you forward as well. And when it comes to encouragement, I think there's a few reasons why it's so important to us, and so I want to give you 3 of those today as you think about encouraging others. The first reason is it gives emotional strength to someone who's struggling. You know, it's kind of like that breath of fresh air to someone if they're discouraged, if they're dealing with doubts, if they're dealing with questions that are going on in their mind. Sometimes that encouragement can help lift them back up or get them moving again as well. It can be that bright spot to remind them everything is not bad, everything is not negative. There's this encouragement kind of coming to push me forward again. Second thing is it can strengthen and reinforce people to help remind them you're on the right course, you're doing the right things. And it really can help people to persevere when they're dealing with maybe difficulty, when they're dealing with a hard situation, to help them realize, hey, don't give up. Keep going, keep going. You know, maybe you have a friend and they're dealing with wayward kids right now. You know, encourage them. Hey, keep praying for those kids. Don't give up on them. Keep loving on them, but just continue in that situation. Or maybe you have another friend and they're having to make some hard boundaries with some family members who are just unhealthy. And they're having to draw some lines and, again, make some boundaries that are not easy to enforce. Encourage them. Hey, what you're doing is good and right. It's going to produce better relationships, but I know it's hard. Keep at it. Keep doing that. That's huge. The third thing is when we encourage each other, it can really stimulate that which is good or honorable, and even for us to pursue maybe that God-given dream or job or, you know, whatever God's called us to do. It can really help us to take that step. You know, all of us get stuck in ruts sometimes. Sometimes we can just feel like, man, I'm stuck here. I'm not ever going to get out. This is just the way things are. And yet sometimes if someone were to come alongside us to offer some encouragement, to give us some hope, to say, hey, you can do this, and I'll walk with you. I'll help you to do this. It can help us take those first steps and get moving. You know, maybe it's something as simple as, man, you've been struggling to lose some weight. And yet you have someone come alongside and say, hey, I'll call you every day. I'll encourage you. Let's do this. You can do this. And just that encouragement from them can really help you get past that rut of this is never going to change. This is always going to be this way, and to really get moving. Maybe you can encourage someone who has this God-sized dream or hope in their life to not give up on it, but to pursue it. I know in high school I had a youth pastor who did this for me. I had this idea after one night at youth group where I just heard this message about the end times and Jesus is coming, and it just made me think, man, everybody's got to hear this message. And I thought, what if everyone at our school heard this message? And I thought, that's a crazy idea. How's that ever going to happen? I shared it with this youth pastor and said, you know what? I think we can do this. And he came alongside me, gave me some encouragement. We ended up distributing over 1,500 of these CDs with music and with a message on it. And people got to hear the gospel all throughout our high school and even beyond with some of the extras that we had left. And I would have just given up on that dream if this youth pastor didn't encourage me, didn't push me forward as well. And so when it comes to encouragement, what I want to close with is, if you think it, say it. That was a phrase I heard a couple years ago when we did a study. And often we say things negative when we think it, when we're frustrated, when we're angry. But when you think something positive, say it. Express it to someone else. Let it out. And so think about it in your life. Who needs encouragement? Who needs some affirmation? Who can you come alongside today? Hebrews 3:13 says, but encourage each other day after day. And in this season, I want to challenge you. Every day, encourage somebody, affirm somebody. Who knows the difference it might make in that person's life? So write a note, make a phone call, send a text message, and encourage someone today.